All right, folks, let's go inside this game. I want to hear some noise from the crowd. I know we got a lot of Quake fans out there. As Toxic is about to take on Socrates, the first map will be Galang, the second map will be Placebo, and if we have to go to a third, which would be an achievement within itself, well, we'll find out what that is later on. And there you can see all the Quake 3 fans have joined in, and that's right, I didn't say it wrong. All the Quake 3 fans, I see Forever out there, Tosspot, I see SZA, they're all here, and even Strider out there. Ready to rock and roll for this Quake 4 one-on-one final. Toxic versus Socrates, Sweden versus USA. As soon as these players ready up, we will begin.
We are underway, 10 seconds in already, and the grand final for World Cyber Games 2006 has begun. Toxic already taking an early bit of damage as well. Socrates, having grabbed the mega health, has the early advantage here on Galang. And we set a smart map pick. Well, it's all on the spawns, it's all at the start of the game as well. As a rocket comes crashing through the rail area, there's a shotgun being picked up by Toxic as well. And you know what? I think we're going to see a cagey start. We've seen it before from Toxic. I think that's exactly what he's going to play again here.
Well, I mean, it would be the smart way to play it. Both these players know exactly what one another is capable of, and that's why we might see a cagey start at the beginning. Following Socrates now, he's got plenty of health and armor, but the shaft of Toxic comes out, gets a little bit of damage there on Socrates, and now from the bottom level, he fires that rail. Moving around now, another exchange of rails over by the red armor. That one will go to Socrates, and we've got 14 minutes on the clock, and there's another rail. I expect to see a lot of long-distance rail play here on Galang. I think that's both of what they're looking for here, and we'll find out if that will be the case here. As, you know, someone did mention that Socrates was going to play the sneaky game, and I believe it was Sujoy from ES Reality. He said, you know what, Socrates sort of has that sneaky little game going on, and players don't particularly like that because it's effective.
Absolutely right. But if anyone can cope with it, Toxic's the man to cope with it. We've seen him play different styles all weekend long, or the last 2 days anyway, and certainly over the summer as well. He can pretty much combat anything that's thrown at him, so we'll see how he copes with that. So far, it's been a very cagey start as we predicted early on. We've almost played 2 minutes though. There you see Toxic. You know, Socrates, they're going to fight each other actually just above the LG. There was a clash there. Rocket one. Oh, stunning rail from Toxic right down low, and we'll take the first frag of the game. And there it is, 1-0 to Toxic. He'll try and find the conversion kill as well. We've played exactly 2 minutes, and the Swede has the lead.
And we now watch the Swede right now up 1-0. You saw that he made that rocket jump up to the rail room to try to quickly take control. Shaft versus Shaft. Socrates down to 2 points of health. Toxic manages to finish him off, making it 2-0 now. And you notice once Toxic got that frag, suddenly he went into robot mode. He made the rocket jump. He was looking for the conversion frag. He didn't get it that time, but he was able to at least follow up with another frag. 12 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. In the horseshoe, they meet up, but only briefly, as Toxic makes his way up to the railgun once again, trying to see if Socrates is up in that yellow armor. Fires a rocket, does not get a connect, so he must not be there. And we've got 12 minutes and 20 seconds left here on the clock. Toxic, he has the early lead, but not by much.
No, he doesn't. We join Socrates now, down by the shotgun. Going to collect that one on the run as well, make his way through the TP and fire himself all the way around the other side. He hasn't really got a lot of control right now, and that's something that will worry him, but not too much. Toxic wants to try and make sure he keeps him at arm's length here. He doesn't want to get him sneaking up on him, so he's playing pretty cagey in this horseshoe room once more. Fire the railgun, fires up a rocket down low. That one didn't attach anything. That mega is due any second now. Socrates just making his way towards it, drops down though, grabs the mega on the run, and that's a really good control point there from Socrates. And if he can control that mega health, he's got every chance of playing a good game on Galang.
Absolutely. I mean, well, the power-ups are incredibly essential here on Galang, especially with all of the long-range rail play that's going on. And we do see Socrates land one from the side. Toxic coming out of the upper teleporter. Shaft versus Shaft. Socrates picks up his first frag, making it 2-1. And now the question is, will he get the conversion frag? Oh, and what a terrible spot for Socrates. He does get the frag, but we did see Toxic pick up that rail, deplete most of the health and armor that Socrates had. Had the rail not been there, Socrates would be doing much better. And now from the middle level with the shotgun.
Oh.
Nice rail by Socrates. He takes the lead over Toxic, 3-2 here on Galang.
Unbelievable run of events from Socrates. Great conversion kills as well. He made absolutely certain he could get a couple of frags in there, but you know what? He was very, very lucky, and unlucky in the same way that actually Toxic spawned right next to the rail. Lucky because he landed the shots. Another rail comes in, this time from Toxic, but secondly, unlucky that it spawned so close to him. So you know what? He did absolutely everything he could right then to actually get the frag, and get away with enough health to then get another conversion kill, which is why he leads 3-2. Toxic has secured the last mega out, so he has now the control of that mega, and Socrates will try and wrestle that one away from him. Not looking at a particularly good shape right now, you have to say. 4.5 minutes gone then, and it's still very even, 3-2 in favor of the American.
Absolutely, and Toxic picks himself up another armor, 3-2, 1 point lead. But as you mentioned, Socrates, he needs to do a little bit of rebuilding on himself there, and we're about to hit the 10-minute mark here, as we've seen a very exciting first 5 minutes. It started off a little slow, but it started to pick back up. Socrates still looking to put something there in his health and armor pool, and he will rotate back around and just wait for his opponent. He catches Toxic out of the corner of his eye, and now will make his way around. Nice rocket there. That one does connect with a little bit of splash damage, and we have passed the 10-minute mark now, as Socrates, you can tell, is playing a very defensive game. Now that he knows he's in a position where a rail or two could literally put that tying frag up on the board.
Absolutely, he's playing it clever, he's playing it smart, but Toxic's also doing smart as well. As we switch over to him, he's stacked now, and he's just claimed the last mega health as well, so complete control from the Swede right now. All he really needs to do is find the American, and he does find him in the hallway. Oh, he'll put a grenade down on himself after he come off the jump pad there, and that jump pad not the right thing to do, and Toxic will come steaming in with the LG, and that was pretty predictable right there. Small mistake there from Socrates, and he was punished entirely by Toxic, and that will level the score back up with 9 minutes and 10 to go.
There is a risk to take there. Go for the red armor, take the risk of possibly being trapped back on Galant. It's one of the reasons why I don't particularly like this map, but it is good for the players. It makes it a risky situation if you are hurt and you go for that red armor. In that case, that's exactly what happened. 8 minutes and 55 seconds now on the clock. We've got a tie game, 3-3. We're on map number 1, and the map is Galang. We're watching Socrates now, who after that last frag from Toxic has started to boost himself back up a little bit. 2 nice rockets going in there, an exchange of rails. I believe that both of those hit, and Socrates will make his way out of there, and Toxic will wonder where exactly Socrates went to as he goes around the horseshoe and back up to the rail. 8 minutes and 31 seconds now on the clock. It's still tied 3-3, and you know what? We've seen some great games on Galang. Hold on, we got an up-down battle here. Rails versus rails, still 3-3, and Socrates not looking to be in the greatest shape right here, and well, neither is Toxic, as he took a rail as well, but Toxic has definitely had the juice runs going. He's had a little bit more armor and a little bit more health, which has ultimately benefited him in these battles.
Yeah, he has, and he's made use of them, and he'll make use of that LG. Very strong work down in the red armor corridor once more, and Socrates wasn't in the best of shape anyway, and he was trying to restack himself, and he wasn't able to do that before Toxic came in with that shaft, and he'll now switch that lead around. It's still a close game at 4-3. Another rocket lands from Toxic as well through that corridor. Oh, fantastic!
Nice.
Pixel perfect rail from Toxic. Stream that one through, back into the back hallway underneath the horseshoe, and he'll go for the conversion kill. He'll get it as well. Oh, fantastic grenade from Socrates.
Wow.
He put 2 in there. 1 landed initially, and then the second one smashed into Toxic's face, and he'll get the double kill as well. And what an amazing frag from Socrates. But you know what? It cost him as well. He's down by 2. It's 5-3 as we hit the halfway mark.
And it may have cost him, but what it did is it equalized the playing field. And that was actually the best scenario that Socrates could have asked for. He basically forced a respawn by both Toxic and himself that put neither player in control of the power-ups on the map. And a lot of times people say that's terrible, but Toxic got taken down with the shaft by Socrates, making it a 1-point game once again. Now, if Socrates hadn't have hurt himself with that grenade, hadn't have killed himself, then we would have a tie game right now. And so the burden is on Socrates. 6 minutes and 54 seconds left on the clock, and he needs to get from the middle level. Toxic equalizing and retaking control with a nice rail shot.
Yeah, he's trying to finish off with the conversion kill with the LG. He's going to try and hit that rail through the gap from low to middle, and he didn't land it the first time. Tries again, but he hits the wall this time, and Socrates will get away with his life inside that one, as the red armor will be collected by the Swede. What's Socrates doing right now? Well, he's trying to control the mega health. He did pick it up as well. And Toxic now's going to meet him in the middle hallway, and then have a battle over that nail gun area. Toxic from long range will just whip out that LG and absolutely annihilate Socrates with it, and grabs himself a 3-rank lead with only 6 minutes and 15 remaining. We might well see a change of the kind of approach play that we've seen from Toxic might well be changing. Oh, they've got another battle here in the red armor corridor as well. Red's been taken. Socrates on the defensive, but he's playing plus back mode rail stuff now, and that can be effective. Not that time though, and Toxic will escape with his life with exactly 6 minutes remaining and a 3-frag lead.
You know, we saw a lot of early rail play. Hold on, coming out of the teleporter on the lower level. Toxic does get another rocket kill, making it 8-4, and he's starting to run away with this one, but I wouldn't count the American down and out quite yet. We saw a lot of rail play earlier on in this matchup, but one of the things that I absolutely love about Toxic is his shaft. And no, I don't mean it that way. I'm talking about his lightning gun. And what I want to say is that typically when it comes down to rail versus rail, one of the more important things that Toxic is always able to identify and deal with is that shaft versus rail is much, much more effective for the lightning gun. You get more damage, you get in the face, it's harder to make those rail shots. And Toxic has now converted some of his long-range rail play over to lightning gun play in order to combat that versus Socrates. The score is 8-4. We're about to hit the 5-minute mark, ReDeYe, and this game is in the hands of Toxic, but Socrates looking to bring it back to his camp.
Yeah, it's Toxic's to lose right now. He has a 4-frag advantage, and that's more than enough to take this one home. It's more than enough for him to control this, play defensive, keep Socrates away. But at the moment, Socrates is going to want to go aggressive, and that's exactly how he's going to get back into this game. Very aggressive move from Socrates. Might get the second frag off the spawn as well. And Socrates hunting him down, trying to find that conversion. But at 8-5, 4 minutes 40, Socrates still has his own destiny in his own hands as well. If he can make the change and the differences at the end of this map, he can still pull this one back. It's a strong map for him. We know that before. As another rail comes crashing in. Oh, fantastic stuff from Toxic yet again. 2 rails in a row. And you know, we're running out of superlatives for the Cyborg. 9-5 is the score right now. And every time Socrates comes back with one, Toxic comes up with something magical.
Yeah, and there it was right there, like David Copperfield absolutely showing us pure magic, as you said, Red. 4 minutes and 11 seconds now on the clock. Toxic looking like he's going to have some trouble there as Socrates did get that frag, but a double rail to equalize things. And I'm not talking about just any old double rail. I'm talking about a spectacular double rail coming from the top level over by the Mega Health. 3 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock. It is now 10-5, and as those seconds begin to tick away, Socrates will begin to think about what his plan will be on Placebo. Unless he can mount a frag here in the next 45 seconds or so, it's still going to be a little bit tougher. Talking about Golang a little bit, you don't get the quick spawns as you do on other maps like Frantic and even Placebo Effect. And so it can be much, much more difficult to roll up those conversion frags on Golang.
Yeah, absolutely right. We've seen it on other maps, but this one's a little bit different. But you know what? Early on in the game, we saw Socrates do it, so it's more than possible. We saw him crack down 3 frags in a row in very quick succession, probably in around about 7 or 8 seconds. So you know it can happen. Little shaft battle breaks down over the nail gun. There's nothing going to happen down there. Socrates backs himself out of it, and well, he doesn't want to back away from too many fights right now. He's 5 down. He needs to find some frags now, and that's, well, Toxic can run for all he likes for the last 3 minutes. He's 5 frags up, in control, and Socrates has it all to do here on Golang.
2 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock. Socrates now looking. He does spot Toxic, sends down a rocket, sees that he's down in the red armor, going to try to get him trapped down there. Toxic, though, firing right back, pulls out the shaft. We see Socrates going for the rail, and that's what he really needs to do. He needs to get those quick rails. He jumps over to the yellow armor. It's going to be shaft versus shaft. There's not much place that Socrates can go, and Toxic takes him down. 11-5, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. He'll be rewarded with the Mega Health now, and it is just a matter of Socrates getting a frag and trying to amount some sort of conversion kill, but that turnover frag for Socrates is going to be a tough one. He does land a nice rail on Toxic. One more might do him in. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. 6 frags separating these two, but it's looking more and more like Toxic will walk away with game number 1.
Yeah, it is looking very likely right now. 2 minutes and 4 left, as we just said, and Socrates has an absolute mountain to climb right now. 6 frags to find, and if he can get a couple early in this last minute or so, then maybe he's got a chance, but he's got to start being aggressive and attack. But all the time the Toxic coming out with those kind of rounds, nothing he can do right now. Shaft coming from Toxic. Socrates with the rail in hand, trying to land some big damage, and still isn't able to land anything at all. Toxic now running away and hiding with 140 remaining, a 6 frag lead. It's looking pretty comfortable, I have to say right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, at the 3-minute mark, I think we're probably at a better position, or at least for Socrates to bring something back. There's a nice exchange of rails. Both players hurting pretty badly. But 11-5, 6 minutes. I think Socrates pretty much knows it's going to be very, very difficult, pretty much next to impossible in order to win this one. And in fact, once we hit that 1 minute mark, getting 6 on, and there it is. Good game. We knew it was coming out there eventually. And with 1 minute left on the clock, we will go into the garbage time now and see what sort of frags these guys will put together for us. 1 minute on the clock. Let's talk a little bit about that game. You know, we did start off very slow. I think both players wanting to see where the other one was coming from. the rail game was very heavy in the opening 5 minutes. In fact, so heavy that we saw these guys exchanging rails like they were Pokemon trading cards. I mean, it's just going back and forth. With 45 seconds left on the clock, this one is over. But I have to say the turning point was pretty much right around that 5th or 6th frag for Toxic, where he was able to string several of them together. We saw a few turnover frags by Socrates. However, he wasn't able to convert as well as Toxic was, and we will move on to the second map, and that will be Placebo Effect, and that was Socrates' map pick, and he said that he wanted to mix it up a little bit. Yep. So with the final seconds ticking away, Socrates will just sit there and wait for the next map to load. But your thoughts on that one, ReDeYe?
Well, you know, I think Socrates has played that one a smart move. He's done really well in the map. He's mixed up his strategies. He's tried something a little bit different, and I think, you know, that's all he could have done. We couldn't have really asked for anything else. There's the end of the game, 11-5 then, and Toxic is your winner from map 1, and map 2 will be coming right next.
Vote now. Vote past.
The second map will be Placebo Effect. First map goes to Johan Quick, aka Toxic, aka the Toxinator. And, oh, look at that. That's what a Toxic will get if he wins? No, just kidding. That's what I'm going to get. No, just kidding. That's
what I want.
The cars lining up there on the Monza track as we get ready for the second round here on Placebo Effect. And Socrates asked you to get rid of the disco light. I thought you liked the disco.
Yeah, I think he does. He's pretending or something, you know. I know he likes disco shoes.
All right, well, guess what? We're about ready to go inside this game. You're listening to djWHEAT and ReDeYe from ITG. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we are now officially into game number 2 here on Placebo. ReDeYe, take it away.
Yeah, Toxic versus Socrates. It's map 2 in the grand final of the 1v1 Quake4 Invitational here at the World Cyber Games 2006, live from Monza in Italy. Toxic already one map up, only has to claim one more. It's 15 minutes away from World Cyber Games glory, but Socrates stands in his way, and right now that was a great shot from Socrates as well. Toxic in a little bit of trouble, has to back himself away from that one and try and find him some health back inside this second map run. So 30 seconds in, no score so far. Socrates trying to land the rail through the gaps, and then we'll watch him drop down. Second one doesn't land either, and that's unusual to see two of them go down. And now shotgun breaking out from Socrates. He's hiding behind the wall, trying to use that wall for cover. Still going, and finally will nail that shotgun pellet right in the face of the Swede, and will grab himself the lead. It's a mirror start to the first map, and this time Socrates has to win the map though.
Yeah, absolutely. 14 minutes and 2 seconds now on the clock. Toxic on the mid-level with the rail. Goes and picks up a Hyper Blaster that was left behind just a few moments ago. There you see one of the players who played here in the Quake4 All-Stars tournament, Sturmy from Italy. Performed very well, ending up in the top 4, but could not make it through after some very impressive games. We're here on the main stage for the WCG 2006 Grand Final for Quake4 one-on-one. The interesting thing about this one before we get started here is that now these players will be paired up, and they will have to play 2 versus 2, which will be an equally exciting matchup, an exciting set of games. Toxic over near the red armor goes for the assault there on Socrates, and a lot of missed rails that I'm seeing by these guys, but they're taking some real tough rail shots.
Oh wow, Toxic comes in with his first, the second frag for him. That'll make it 2-1 to the Swede, and you're right, I mean, I don't think I've seen that many missed rails in a whole entire game between these two players. I mean, either of them have never missed that many rounds in a row, but yeah, maybe they are human after all. Maybe we miss the line. Toxic and Socrates. Socrates now battling it out in that low area. Shaft to shaft. Now Toxic out with the shaft very late though, and he's got to try and come back later. Point blank low. And only the machine gun allowed for Socrates. That was all he had left. The only weapon in his arsenal, but it was enough for him, and he did land it with just 9 cells of the LG left as well. So that great stuff there from Socrates. He had to switch to the machine gun. He did get the frag, and we're tied up at 2-2 with just 2.5 minutes to go.
There was also another crucial thing that happened on that kill. when Toxic died, his corpse actually picked up the red armor. I mean, so it was negated for Socrates right there. However, a nice shaft kill by Socrates. He'll pick up another one, and he's now on the lower levels firing that rail. You mentioned that this was a mirror match from the first one. We saw this score on Galang, 3-2. And this is the point where Toxic brought it back in his favor. Gonna go grenade versus LG, but the LG comes out dominant, and Socrates will continue to control that rail and steal it away from its spawn position to try to prevent Toxic from using that. And rightfully so, Toxic now assaulting over near the lightning gun. Oh, that rocket is going by the feet of Socrates, and it will be a machine gun kill by Toxic to tie the, no, not to tie this one up, but to make it a one frag lead once again. Socrates with a beautiful rail right there. Can he follow up? No, he can't. Toxic ties this one up with a nice shot. Well, only momentarily. 5-4 now. The frags going back and forth, and this is what we expected to see in the Quake4 1v1 All-Star Final at the World Cyber Games 2006.
I don't think, 9 kills into the game, and like 4 of them have been machine guns. I don't think I've seen that many machine guns in the entire tournament before, let alone in one map. Socrates with some brilliant machine gun work, and then Toxic coming back with his own. It's 6-4 right now. Toxic leading down by 2 rather, and will then pummel a rocket right into the face of Toxic as well. And Socrates now just starting to mix things up nicely. They've both been very low on health, very, very low and sensationally low. So much low that they can then attack each other with machine gun. But Socrates again just about surviving that onslaught from Toxic and grabbing the kill. That's 4 frags now. I think each time Toxic comes in, he's being super aggressive because he thinks that guy must be low on health. How the heck is he staying alive? And that's why you see him going aggressive off the spawn each time. So far, though, it's worked really well for the American, and there's another example of it. Brilliant LG work as he drops down and claims the red armor as his prize as well. And that's a 5-frag lead now. And wheat, game on.
Yeah, absolutely. The other interesting thing to note, and I know it's a little early to be starting to talk about stuff like this. Hold on. We got a fight over here just above the teleporter. There's another rail by Socrates to make it 10-4. He's got a 6-frag lead over Toxinator, and you know what? You can't really count that out. Fox at one point during this tournament had a 10-frag lead over Toxic, and he brought it back to his favor, and that's exactly how it gets done. Toxic there powering through that frag with a very, very nice set of rockets, and another set making it 10-6, and anything can happen, especially here on Placebo Effect. Things get a little crazy, and those frags can start racking up big time. The LG comes out again. It looks like a rail shot does manage to connect for Socrates, but that'll be it. 9 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock. Toxic going for another one as Socrates picks up that red armor, but it won't matter. 10-8, it's a 2-frag game.
Unbelievable. It never ceases to amaze me how great this guy's rail is and how great his LG is. Some absolutely superb rail and superb LG from the Swede. He leads down by 2 frags right now, but yeah, it looks as if he's leading the frag race whenever you see him moving around the map like that. But he's actually 3 down right now. As Socrates will finally get one back on the board after a reply. But that's how quickly things can change on Placebo Effect. It can swing. We've seen a fantastic game so far. I can't remember seeing a game on Placebo with 20 frags in it after 5 minutes. It's been so aggressive, and maybe that's part of the Socrates strategy. Maybe that's what he meant by he was going to mix this stuff up. And it's worth a try, and it's working for him so far. 3-frag lead. We're going to get another battle here. LG versus Rockets. Rockets coming back with Toxic. Will win out with the LG once more. And there it is. He's reduced the gap to 2, and we're down into the last 9 minutes of this World Cyber Games 1v1 Grand Final. And is it the last 9 minutes? Socrates needs to hold on to this as another rocket flies into his face, and the gap is down to 1.
And it's amazing that it's down to 1, considering it was 6 just a few moments ago. 8 minutes and 41 seconds on the clock. Anything can happen at this point as Socrates picks up a little bit of armor there and now making his way down to the mid-levels. And 8 minutes 30 would say, I still got to say, with Socrates in the lead, I think the third map will be a random pick. And there it is, the tying frag by Toxic, 11-11. The question is can Toxic continue this reign of terror here on the American opponent, Socrates?
Yep. Let's see whether he can. He's got rockets primed and ready. Oh, takes a face full of grenades. Actually didn't lose an awful lot of health on that one. I thought it was a bigger grenade than it was. Just a little bit of splash damage in the end. Red armor will spawn and be picked up by Toxic. Those hyperglaster sounds come flying down into that corridor from the American. Did land a pixel perfect rail through the gap as well. Stunning stuff yet again from Toxic. He'll now try and lash out the LG to get that lead back. And it's 11-11 right now. Oh, Socrates hiding behind the wall. Toxic taking by surprise there. Surprisingly, actually, because I thought he would have worked that one out. I saw that one coming from a mile away. How did he not see that? that one. But 11-11 remains the score. We're 7.5 minutes away from the end of this map now, and Socrates still has this one all to play for. It's 11 ages. The rail comes in from Toxic, and Socrates falls down to try and pick up the armor. He'll spawn just above the red as well. He'll come in all aggressive with the machine gun, and Toxic is trying to LG him with just 9 points of health. Incredible stuff from Toxic. He deserved to go down then. Socrates knew he was weak, and now the Mega Health will be playing with it. No, it won't. Socrates, brilliant stuff with the machine gun as Toxic goes for the Mega Health, and it's now 13-12, and with Socrates having picked out that Mega, Toxic's going to go all aggressive on him in the red armor corridor and get that LG frag, and he's up by 2 now at 14-12.
Very, very nicely done. Toxic now up by 2, 7 minutes left on the clock, and he's going to go in. Only a little bit of help remaining now, and he manages to sneak his way out of there. Switching over to Socrates, didn't look like he was in the best shape either, so that was a nice separation of these two players, but they're now starting to armor and health back up, and now there'll be a top-bottom battle here as Toxic looking out over the side, trying to snag Socrates with that. He does get a nick with one rocket, but Socrates will manage to find some armor to re-buff up on that, and now making his way across the map. 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. It's still a 2-frag game, and what has been an amazing matchup already between Toxic and Socrates. These games are getting closer and closer, and sooner or later, Toxic will be taken down. It's hard to believe that this guy hasn't even lost a map lately, and you know, even that would be accomplishment within itself. Socrates already has a very, very difficult road to make anyway, having to defeat Toxic twice, and he has got to defeat Toxic in this map if he wants to continue on in this tournament. Otherwise, he'll just have to settle for second place, and as far as Socrates is concerned, that's probably not what he wants. 5 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock. We will have a battle on the top level. Socrates landing a few very nice rockets. Toxic getting his damage in as well with the LG, and with 5 minutes and 46 seconds remaining, the fight continues on.
Yeah, 2 frags the difference then. Can Socrates pull it back? Well, that's a good player starting about it. That could get a clap from the crowd as well. Great rail from the American. He'll pull it back to just 1 frag between the two of them. 5 minutes and 30 remaining. He's plenty of time in this game, and Toxic will know that as well. A little bit of damage inflicted though, and Socrates knows it. Oh, fantastic! Fantastic rocket from Socrates into the feed of the Swede. 14-14. What a great way to tie a match up on placebo effect. The Mega Health will be his as his birthday present as well. And now he's flicked over the feet. Another flick rail to the right-hand side as Toxic was about to unleash the fury of these rockets down below him. And it's 15-14, and this seesaw game continues. It's Socrates that now leads as we head into the last 5.
No one ever wants to see a player lose, but I gotta say, even at this critical moment, the fact that we have seen Toxic play some very, very close games versus great players like Fox, versus Sturmy, and versus Socrates as well. There we go, a fight over the red armor. Socrates takes another lead. 16-14 is the score, and now Socrates waiting for that red. It does spawn. He's gonna grab it, grabs himself a rail as well. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. The thing is even though this has gone back and forth, we've seen the lead change several times. We know that both of these players are completely capable of regaining control, turning those frags over, and then converting them for their favor. And now Toxic and Socrates both playing it very quick. They're going to meet over by the lightning gun, and they will quickly separate up on that one, as both these players are not looking fantastic in the health and armor department. But now we got 4 minutes, 10 seconds left, not had a frag in about 40 seconds now, and one is about due, as these have been going back. A total of 30 frags being scored here already on placebo, and we have just hit the 4-minute mark. We've still got a lot of regulation game time here, Red, and once again, Socrates must win this one to stay alive in this tournament.
Well, there's a couple of rockets and a rail thrown off by Socrates along the corridor. Tried to land them as well, and then some LG coming in from Toxic, and that's the first time he's been able to pick up the LG. I noticed that in the last minute. We haven't seen a frag because actually, fantastic rail
nice.
from Toxic. Landed that rail right from the other side of the high area, and that'll pull it back to a 1 frag lead for the American. But I tell you what I noticed in that one was the fact that we didn't get a kill because Toxic didn't have a weapon.
Right.
He had nothing in there. He had no rail, no LG, and he had no rockets left in his armory either. So he just didn't want to go into battle. He does now though, wants desperately to go into battle, and he'll go right close up personal and equalise the game up at 16 apiece. He doesn't want a third map right now. He wants this to finish now. 3 minutes 12 remaining. They'll exchange another rail down on the low area. Toxic makes his way back up high. He'll collect the rockets here and drop down what he knows. Socrates then switching over to him, tries to land the rail from high to low, then goes back towards the Mega. Through the teleporter he'll go. They'll come face to face again, and still they can't land any rails. And we've gone back to almost status quo at the start of the first map, where neither man can land a rail. And that's just, it's so even right now. 16-all is the score, but it is very even inside the game as well.
Absolutely, not only even, but I think that both of these guys are splitting power-ups. You've seen that Toxic has got control of the Mega, and you see that Socrates has control of the Red. So at this point, it really could go either way. But with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock, there is definitely going to be a clear winner in this matchup. I can't imagine that one of these players is not going to break free and start scoring some of those conversion frags. The question is who will it be? And they both anticipate the spawning of the red armor. Toxic gets the majority of the damage done with the shaft, and he does grab the red armor as well, but most of that was depleted by Socrates. The exchange of rail goes back once again, and this rail game of cat and mouse has definitely begun to heat up here on Placebo Effect. 2 minutes and 5 seconds now on the clock. It is 16-16. We're following Socrates. He'll now wait. It looks like they have switched position. Socrates did pick up that Mega a little while ago, and now Toxic looking for his opponent, knowing that it could come down to it. The Hyper Blaster comes out. We're actually having a fight over the yellow armor. That's how important the power-ups here right now on this matchup actually are. 1 minute and 44 seconds left on the clock. A rail is hit there by Toxic. He's looking to follow up with one more. Hyper Blaster coming through the teleporter now, and the Mega is up, and Toxic will grab it. 1 minute 34 left on the clock. We could go into overtime. Maybe I'll eat my words.
Yeah, maybe. It could be overtime in the grand finals. This second map then. Remember, Toxic already one map up. He only needs one more, and that would claim him his prize, the biggest prize of all perhaps, the World Cyber Games Grand Final. It's 16-all. We're 1 minute and 15 away from the end of this map, and who's gonna be brave? Who's got the bottle to try and make that aggressive attack? Is it Toxic? Is it Socrates? They're both gonna fight over the red armor yet again. Toxic makes his way down there. He'll grab the red armor as well, and that's bad news for Socrates. He didn't need that right then, and now Toxic has the little advantage, but actually got stripped away a lot of health on that particular point as well. They exchange another set of rails. 50 seconds remaining. Who will break the deadlock, Wheat? Who's it going to be?
I have no idea right now. I got to say it could go to either of these players, but Toxic looking pretty good. 42 seconds left on the clock, 16-16. I'm not sure what the mentality of these players are. Do they want to take it to 2 minutes overtime? I got to say, based on the health and armor stats of Toxic, he's not willing to go that far. 28 seconds left on the clock. We could see Socrates go for a defensive turtle. However, we've seen in past games, not only in Quake 4, but in Quake 3, that proved to be incredibly disadvantageous to him and end up with the loss. And we will have, this could be the final fight. Toxic gets it with 12 seconds remaining with the shaft. 17-16. It's over. Toxinator stays in this one, and that will be it. 3, 2, 1. Toxic wins.
You win.
In 2 maps. Unbelievable. ReDeYe.
Well, what can you say? World Cyber Games champion for Quake 4 is SK Toxic. The machine wins again.
You know what? I have to just give mad props for Socrates, though.
Yep.
Toxic, congratulations on your 7th Quake 4 title. Socrates, dude, this loss should not bring you down.
Absolutely
not. This loss should only say, I can do something in this competitive platform. And look at this guy. He's barefoot wearing pajamas on stage, you know?
That's
throw
how
some
cool he
pants
is.
on this guy, maybe have him wear a pair of shoes. He might play some better Quake 4. But ultimately, both these guys are winners. Toxic wins his 7th consecutive
straight championship.
And Socrates,
Never
once
been
again,
done.
proves himself that he can be a contender in
Yeah,
this.
I'd like to add to that as well. You know, time and time again I hear people saying, Socrates, what has he ever done? The guy's had an amazing year in Quake 4 this year, absolutely amazing. Toxic, though, can't take it away from him. He's made history here with the 7th straight championship. He is the World Cyber Games champion.
And the Cyborg wins once again. This has been djWHEAT and ReDeYe from inside the game at the World Cyber Games 2006 Grand Finals in Italy.